Okay, so in this for your question paper for the question I sent you for the weekend, I ask you to do the first conversion. I'm going to show it shortly again. So the very first one, we said what? Convert decimal, oh sorry, convert decimal 56 to binary, then to hexa. So it's simple. How to do that? It's very simple. Always, you will take your table, you put it here. And you put the decimal 56 here. So 56 should be the combination of one or more of these guys. So consider 56 is bigger than 32. So I can put 32 here. Then I take my calculator. Calculator is here. So I did 56 minus 32. The remaining is 24. The remaining is 24. And I can see that 24 is bigger than 16. So I take 16 here. Then in that 24, I remove this 16. The remaining is 8. So 8 is equal or bigger to 8. So we can take it and I'm done. We did nothing else. Then, sorry. Then again, you take your calculator to make sure. Sorry. So you take your calculator again to make sure this one is equal to 56. So you clear everything. And you say, I'm going to do this one. So 32 plus 16 plus 8 is 56. So it's correct. It's 56. So now I see that I'm going to go to my table here. And I say I took 32. So I didn't take 28. I didn't take this one. So I put 0. Did I take 64? No. So I put 0 on that. Did I take 32? Yes, 32 is here. So I put 1 on that. Did I take 16? Yes, 16 is here. So I put 1 on that. Did I take 8? Yes, 8 is here. I put 1 on that. Did I take 4? No. Did I take 2? No. 1? No. So then if I didn't take 4, I put 0 on that. I didn't take 2, I put 0. I didn't take 1, and I put 0. So this is how we convert. So it means then your answer is the value of decimal 56 is, then you take everything here is the value in binary. You copy. You see? Yeah, so that's all. So the value of 56, of decimal 56, is this one in binary. In binary. Now, from binary, we can convert to hexadecimal. Then to do that, this one, this binary, you put it here. You put it here, and you put equal. Now you're going to divide in two. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it should be 4, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see? Then you separate. So I'm going to copy. You copy. You put it here. Then you separate in two. You see? 4, 4. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the value. Another one. You can start from right to left. 4, 4. See, 4 is here. See? Then this one, you take now your table. In my table, what is the value of this? So you put your table. What is that table? This is the table. So number 0011. If you zoom in, binary 0011, 0011 is 3. 0011 is 3. So this one in hexadecimal. And this value, 1000, binary 1000 is here. You see, so the equivalent is 8. See? Then you put 8 here. Or you can now combine them, 3, 8. In hexa. See? So this is your answer. And 3, 8 in hexa. So this is how it works. So who sent me so Fabien, you didn't get it right because normally it's 3, 8, not A, 8. And also Salamu, you also said it's A, 8, it's not, it's 3, 8. And I think Bosco did it right. So you have your question here, convert decimal 36 to binary, then to hexa. You take your decimal here, you put your table, and you say this decimal, this number is equal to what combination here? You say it's this one. How do you find it? If 56 is bigger than 32, then you put it here. Then you do 56 minus 32. The remaining is 24. 24 is bigger than 16. So you put it here. Then you do 24 minus 16. The remaining is 8. So 8 is bigger or equal to 8, and you keep it like that. When you are done, you make sure you take your calculator to double check if it's the same. Then you say the value of decimal 56 is, you copy everything here and you put it here. We see the value in binary. Then from binary to decimal, so the same number you divide into 4, 4. Then you take your table. The very first 4 is equal to what? Is 3. The second block of 4 is, you go to your tables, is 8. So this is how it works. So we're going to do also the second one, the same thing. This one, we're going to start with the binary. We're going to start a binary one. We're going to start a binary one. So all good here. So all of you, you understand now? It's not difficult, just by practicing. But we won't spend too much time on that, so no worries. When we meet again on Saturday, we'll do some revisions. Now we're going to do a second one. This one is convert. This one will be converting decimal in binary, binary in decimal. Convert binary.
Sir, good evening, sir. Please, I'm sorry for cutting
Yeah.
you. I have a question. So,
Yes.
in decimal, you see there by the table. So,
Yes.
56 minus 32, it equals to
Mhm.
24. So, you don't have to take the number 24. So, you must take the number that is smaller than 24
Yeah.
from the table. It's like that, ne?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. Yes. Then you find like that. Okay. Now, if you have binary 1 1, for example, convert this binary in decimal. But we'll do that many times later on. Then hexa. So this time you have a binary and you have to convert in decimal, then hexa. So the easiest way, you see, when you have binary, it's easier to go to decimal. You divide into 4, 4, then you can see here. So the easiest is you take this. You put it here. See? Then you cut into, if I say cut into 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you stop here and you divide, you see, in 2 like that, 4, 4. Then you take your table, all ones here, you go in your table. You see, all ones here is F. You see, in hexa. So here it will be F. And again, the same thing, all ones is F. Then you join them. Then your answer is the first one, binary is FF in hexa. So binary and hexa is easy. Now, binary to decimal, then you take again your table. I'm going to put it like that. And here, you take your table. So we say all ones. So you put 1 here. Let me allow someone in. So this time, this binary, you see, you're going to put them in your table. Binary, you see one, it's all ones. You put it in your table the way it is, from right to left, if you want to make sure that it's you see. So this binary is here. Now you take you say I took one. One is under 128. It means I took 128. So there is one. There is one under. So I took 64. Or you can do multiplication. 1 times 24 is 64 plus 32 plus 16 plus 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1 equal, if you take your calculator, it will be 255. Then you put binary all ones is 255 in decimal. So this is how we convert binary to decimal and hexa. So to go to hexa, it's easier. The binary number you cut in 2, 4, 4. Then you go to your table, you check F. All ones here is, you go to your table, all ones here is the value in hexa is F. So you put it here. The second one also, all ones is also F. Then you combine them. And you say, binary, this is F in hexa. If you want to convert in decimal, do the same thing. You put your table, you put all your ones under exactly like that. Then you take your calculator and you like that. So you can have a look again and we continue. So for those who log on late, we are doing a revision from the questions I ask you for your homework. If it's smaller. Yeah, so we started with convert decimal to binary. Anything related to decimal to binary, you take your table. Anything to binary to hexa, it's this conversion table. You cut in 2 and you compare. But if you want to move binary to decimal, you do your table 128, 64, blah, 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 and you do your stuff. Yeah. So if you want to move hexa to decimal, you must always go via binary. Everything goes via binary first. You cannot jump from one to another one. No. You go to binary. So, yeah, so you can check what we just did now. Okay, so we'll have time also on Saturday. I'll give you something to do. You bring it on Saturday. So this Saturday, we'll be having in-person the technical sessions at Cape Town Science Center. For those who can come, as I said, not compulsory, but it's good to come. It will be the last one for March. The next one will be somewhere in April. So after this one, we finish. Then I give you a big project to be done for 2 weeks. You current CCNA class. Then for the IT essential we are finishing here, I'll take 2 weeks to prepare them for them to get the same level as us. Then after 2 weeks, we all combine because we'll be at the same level. So please don't forget to come Saturday. It will be the last one for March. Only one technical session in March. We'll be doing a lot of revisions, practicals, how to configure a switch, how to configure a router, and how to do some conversions, plus subnetting. So we'll be very busy. So I'll give you the PDF, what we will be doing. You prepare so that when we meet, we automatically do the answers. Okay, so we continue. Binary. So now if you have hexadecimal and you have to convert, so hexadecimal is very easy. So in your table, if you say, for example, 79 or CC, let's say CC, I'm going to say, for example, 4D. Convert hexa 4D in decimal, for example. Convert hexa 4D in decimal. So to do that, you take your table, hexadecimal, you always take your table. From hexadecimal to decimal, you must always go via binary. You see? Always go via binary. Then from binary, you go to decimal. From decimal to hexa, you must always go via binary. So we say what 4D. 4D. So if I want to convert 4D in binary, what will be the value? It's very simple. 4D, 4, this is the value in binary. 0100. For hexadecimal 4, this is the value. 0100. Then you put it 0100, you put your space. Now you take your D. What's the value of D? You take your table, put hexadecimal, D is here. D, the value is 1101. Then you put it here, 1101. You see. When you are done, you can combine them. You can combine both. And you remove the space. And you put your answer here. Or you can put here if you want to. Hexa. And let me put it down. Hexa 4D is, you see, in binary. Now from binary, you go to your decimal. As you know, binary and decimal, it's always via a table. So you put your table here, and you put this binary here. You see? Then you must add this binary in the table. So here, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1. So this number, you put it nicely like that, exactly the same. You see. And from there, you do 0 times 1 to 80, 0, 1 times 64. It means I took 64. 0 times 32. I didn't take 32. I didn't take 16. I took 8. I took 4 because there is 1 under. I took 4. 0 times 2 is 0. I see 1. I took 1. Then you take your calculator, you clear everything. So everything here, what is the value? You take your calculator. 64 plus 8 plus 4 plus 1, 77. You see? So now the answer, hexadecimal is in decimal. Hexadecimal. Put your answer here. Is 77. So this is how it works. It's not difficult just because it's new, but if you practice, so this is something that so this one was chapter 5, how to convert with decimal to binary, binary to hexa, and so forth. So now let's come back to our chapter 11. What is the most important? Chapter 11. So we did see last time what is the IP address. It's like your passport number or your South African ID, or is to identify you. So each device in a network should be identified to communicate. Like your cell phone number. If you don't have a cell phone number, you cannot call someone. No one can call you. So to identify someone, and we did check with 3 classes of IP addresses, class A, B, and C. How to know that a class, this one's a class A, class B, class C. So a quick revision, will go there for you. It takes time to find it, but let's go there. So why we are doing these conversions? Because at a later stage, when you have an IP address, this one we understand for us human beings. Remember what we did? Decimal numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's for us human beings. We understand. But with machines, the PC, they don't understand always. We understand 0 or 1. We understand binary 0 or 1. Understand? That's why if you have a number for us, we need to convert in binary. Binary also, when we have something, we need to convert for us. That's why we do this conversion stuff. So at a later stage, when you have an IP, we need to convert in binary for the PCs to understand. So hexadecimal, it's mostly for MAC addresses. You're mostly for when you have a MAC address is hexadecimal. Okay, this one. So Saturday, we'll do the routers and the switch. We do an example in packet tracer. When we are done, we'll take a network cable, the console cable, we log in. And so we'll also check at the back of a router, the component, the different port. When you have a router, what are the different ports? We'll see that there is a port called console port. If you want to do some basic configs, then you remove the cable. We did that on last Saturday. It should be written console, you see. It's always written console. So it means this port is a console port. Then you plug your console cable there. On your PC, you install the drivers of your console cable. You install Teratem, the terminal emulator. and from there you could log on and see and do your configs. So 2 Saturdays ago, we did that. Any other port is to connect the router to a switch. This one is a serial port. You must buy it and you plug in. It's to connect routers to routers. So when you have a router, the three main ports are serial port. You buy a serial Cisco serial module. You go to image. Which one's the best? Okay, let me take this one. Yeah, you see. So you buy serial, you can see. You buy this one. When you buy it, you remove this thing and you plug it inside. Then you'll have this one. So this one is a serial port. I'll also bring a serial cable. So each one will be connected to the other one to a router. If you want to connect router to router, you have a router here. I teach you like professionals, not like grade 1, page 2, page 3. No. I give what you should know. So when you have in packet tracer 2 routers and you want to connect them, you must first see what port you have. So the command to view the port on the router, I'll show you, show IP interface brief. So if you type show IP interface brief, I think this question I'll ask you in another chapter. Yeah, chapter 8, when we read chapter 8, when we're going to study the router. And it should be somewhere. You see, what command will you type to view all the ports in your router? The command to type to view all the ports on your router is show IP interface brief. If you type show IP interface brief, you can see that these are the ports you have. Gig Ethernet. Gig Ethernet, it's see these ones in yellow. Fast Ethernet or Gig Ethernet. Fast is not too fast, fast Ethernet, but Gig Ethernet is more faster. So it can be fast Ethernet or gigabit, yeah, Ethernet. Auxiliary, if you see AUX auxiliary, in the old days, is to connect your let's say your telecom box to here, so that the router could go to internet. So if your service provider is MTN or Vodacom or Telecom, they'll bring the equipment in your company and you connect their equipment to here for you to go to internet or something. So this section, this slot, you remove it, you insert a serial cable, a serial slot. So here you can see that we don't have serial port. So to install a serial port, you open your router, you go to physical, and you can zoom in. You see this big, it's empty. So here you have the different type of modules or slots you can buy. The first, if you click on the first one, you'll see a picture down here. You click, you see a picture. So the first one is a serial. You put in, but you get an error message. You must power off first, switch off before you bring in. You see, you can put 2 if you want to. When you are done, you power on again. You go to command line interface. It's going to install the drivers of this card. You're going to install the drivers. So the driver is a software that will allow your router and this module to communicate. If you ask questions like no, enable, show IP. So what we'll be doing today and Thursday, we're going to do exactly the same thing on Saturday. Revisions and mini-term, exactly the same thing. Show IP interface. Erase. You can see now you have a serial port because I did add a serial module. We can do the same thing that side. We open this router. You can zoom in. You power off first. Before you install something, the router must be off to avoid electrical issues. You switch off, power off, you install nicely. Now your power on again. See, you go to command line interface. You see, it's loading. Okay. If it's asking questions, say no. If you don't say no, it's going to guide you. What do you want to do? A lot of questions. Enable show IP interface brief to view all the commands, all the ports on a switch. Now you can also see that this guy also has serial. So both routers we have serials. Then you can take a serial port, a serial cable. What see serial? You can see the name down here. Serial or serial. You click on it. You select a serial port. You come here. Go to serial port. This is how two routers are interconnected via serial. So as a network engineer, it's something you should know. And this is a serial module. You buy it, and you plug it here. So this training, I'm repeating anytime it's international, the same content if you're in the US, Canada, Europe, so same training. So last time we did all these things, IP addresses. So any device has two addresses, physical address, never changed, or MAC address, managed by the switch. Logical address or IP address, we can change it, like your cell phone number, I can change my cell phone number, managed by the router. So when you have your network, and you want to go to internet, your data must come first to the switch. The MAC address is needed, source and destination. Then it will forward to the router. The router will focus on the IP address. Source, where do you come from? Where do you want to go before it's sent out? So any device has two addresses, MAC address and IP address. And you see we have two types of IP addresses. We have IPv4 and IPv6. For now, we stick on IPv4. This is an example of IPv4. IPv6, you can check again, then continue. The secret for Cisco, number one, it's not difficult. Number two, you need to do the same thing many times. Many times. Practice the same thing many times. That's all for Cisco. So these are, yeah. The classes, we have class A, B, and C. We'll see which one is, how a device can get an IP. You can manually type, we call it static IP. or you can get it dynamically via DHCP. We did that in IT Essentials. So a DHCP server is a device in your network that will send IP addresses to all the PCs. So the DHCP server will send an IP address, subnet mask, default gateway to all of them. Instead of you manually typing, let's say you have 200 PCs, you cannot go one by one. So you set up on DHCP, then it's going to send to everyone. We have a configuration to do that. So step by step, we'll do that. So today we're going to focus more on what is called subnet mask. Default gateway, as you know, everyone here is connected to this interface of the router G0000. So if you want to go out, we go to that interface first, then the router will see where do you want to go and send to you. So G00 is called default gateway. It should be known by all of them. That's why the DHCP will put it and send to them already. So you know IP address, you know default gateway. Now, what is subnet mask? It's what we're going to do today. So IP addresses, we have public and private. Public can go to internet. Private cannot go to internet. We'll do a lot of revisions. So no worries. Today is subnet mask. We'll identify in which network an IP belongs to. So an IP address will always come with a subnet mask. For example, this is the IP address, and this is the subnet mask /24. /24, it means I have 24 ones, and I'll show you shortly. And all these 24 ones, I'm going to show you, /24, it means it's 24 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. An IP address has 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So an IP address have 4 blocks: the first block, second block, third block, and the last one. So when you say /24, should be also 4 blocks: 1 block, 2, 3, 4. So we say /24 because it means I have 24 ones. 8 plus 8 plus 8 is 24. This one, if you convert in decimal, is 255. You convert in decimal, is 255. You convert in decimal, is 255 or 0. We do that many times, so no worries. The very first time, it looks strange, but it's not. It's not. So from now on, anytime you have an IP address, it will come with a subnet mask. It can be in decimal, or it can be in binary /24. Okay, all this we'll do revision again, but for now, let's do the subnetting. Oh, what's it? No, sorry. So a subnet is a number to identify in which network you belong to, or in which room. So let's say you have a big room. So also for subnet, we have something called default subnet mask. For class A, it is /8 or 8 ones. If you see /8, it means 8 ones. So when you have a class A, the very first block will never change. That's why we put all ones here. It's 8 ones. That's why I say /8. If you convert everything, it will be 255, and anything else will be 0000. This is the default. For class B, the very first two blocks will never change for the network. That's why we have 8 plus 8, 16 slash 16. Because 16, it means 16 ones. If you convert each block in decimal, it will be 255, 255, and anything else will be 00. For class C, the first three blocks will never change. What we are doing now, we're going to repeat the same thing on Thursday. So today is the very first time to see. When you have a class C, the very first three blocks will never change. It's for the network. You see N for network. And because for the network, we add all of them once. 8 plus 8 plus 8 is 24. That's why I say slash 24. If you convert each of them in decimal, it will be 255, 255. This one is very important. Have a look, 1 minute, and we continue. Next 20 minutes, we are done. So no worries. It's the most difficult part in CCNA, your whole training. If you know this one, it's finished. But we'll do many times, it's not. It's very easy. Okay, so now let's go to a big business. So let's say you have a big room or a big house, one house. Let me do it here for you. Yeah, listen. So let's say you have a big room. This guy doesn't. If you have a big room, if you have the default subnet mask, it means you have only one big room. Like for example, slash 24. If you see a IP with slash 24, it means this address is part of only one network, one big room. If you see the default subnet mask. If it changes, if it go to slash 26, 24, and 25, if you go further, like 25, 26, 27, it means this address doesn't belong only to one big room, but one small room. It means your room has been divided in different parts, maybe 4 parts like here, or 2 parts. How many parts? We have to know that. And per part, we have a first valid host, last valid host, and a broadcast. We'll do step by step. Let's take an example. Example 1. This is a IP 192.168.10.12. Now here you see slash 25. Slash 25 is different from 24. It means this IP doesn't belong to only one big room, but that big room has been divided in smaller rooms. Then this one belongs to which smaller room? It's what we're going to do. So in which smaller network or smaller room this IP belongs to? And from that smaller room, find the first valid. So read this one, and we'll do that many times. On Thursday, we'll focus on that only. Okay, so let's jump in. When you have such example, you start with the guidance. Guidance, step 1, identify this IP, the class. You see this 192, this IP. The first block is 192. Remember the classes now? Class C. The first block is between this. See? So how to identify a class? You check always the first block. This one is the first block. You can see it falls in this range. It means it's a class A IP address. If we take this one, this IP, you will check the first block. It falls in which range? It falls somewhere here. Then it's a class B. We take this IP address, you check always the first block. This one falls where? Somewhere here. It's a class C. So first thing first, identify the class. So this IP, 192, you take the first block, it belongs to class C. Step number 2, identify the default subnet mask for class C. We say that for class C is /24. That's why I say it's very important to know the default subnet mask. For class A is /8. The very first block doesn't change. For class B, because 2 blocks doesn't change, 16. For class C is /24. Very important to know that. So identify the default subnet mask for /24. For class C is /24. 24, why 24? Because you see 1 block, 2 block, 3, 4 blocks. And 24 means I have 24 ones. The very first block all ones. That's why you say /24. Now, after you get these 2 right correctly, step number 3, find the bit borrowed. In our question, we say this is the IP, and this is the subnet mask they gave us, /25. You see, they gave us /25. Then step number 3, 25 minus 24, it means it's 1. It means what? I had my 24 bits before, and I added 1 again to be 25. See? So if it says /25, it means you have 25 ones. So your very first 24, and you add 1 from the host, 25. So 25 minus 24, you borrowed 1 bit extra, you see. Because by default, this is me. Now you say 25, it means you borrowed, you added 1 extra. So if you borrowed 1 extra, you need to find now how many smaller rooms I have. To do that, there is a formula, 2 to the power of bit borrowed is equal to 2. So you take your calculator and 2 to the power of how many bits I did borrowed. I borrowed 1, and the value is 2. It means 2 to the power of 1 is 2 smaller network. So if I'm in my default subnet mask, it's only 1 big room. Everyone belongs to 1 big room. As soon as I add 1 extra to become 25 or 26 or 27, it means I don't have now only 1 big room, but I did divide it smaller rooms. How many smaller rooms? There is a formula, 2 to the power of bit borrowed. So here, 2 to the power of 1, because I borrowed only 1 bit here. See, 25 minus only 1. So 2 to the power of 1 bit borrowed, I have now two smaller networks. You see, it means I have two smaller networks. Now you need to identify these two smaller networks. How to identify? Now I know I have now two smaller networks. How to find them? To find them, you go to your question first. You see, we take the first three blocks because it's a class C. The first three blocks will never change. You leave it here. I'm going to remove. Here I'm going to remove. I have two smaller networks. So I know that the very first one will start with 192.10, the second one also. Now we'll have to find the last one because it should be four blocks. 1, 2, 3. The very first networks always end with 0. Always. It's like that. It's like that. Now the second one, the second network, to find it, I'm going to put in below. Oh, yeah. The second one for my second net, so I did find my first network 192.168.10.0. How to find the second one? The 4 block here. To find it, we're going to use something called the magic number. How to do that? You do your table again. You see the table for our sister Sharon. You do your table. You see 128.64, and you see this one where you borrowed 1 bit. This one, you put it in your table. See? Then you take the last one from left to right, the last one on your right. So here, because it's only 1, then I stop here and it falls in 128. Then you take that number and you put it here. You see? That's why you say the magic number is 128. It means any other network that I could find should be 0 plus 128. The third one should be plus 128 plus 128 plus 128. But we'll do that later. This is how it works. No worries, the same thing we're going to repeat again on Thursday. We're going to do a lot of examples. Saturday, we also do a lot of examples. And from there, we are done with CCNA1 for you. The most difficult part is here. Now, the last part, I now found 2 networks. I have now 2 smaller rooms. Per smaller room, we need to find the first valid host I can assign, the last valid host I can assign to a PC, and the broadcast. I'll explain to you many times, no worries for that.
Sorry, sir. One question.
Yes.
Fabian is my name.
Fabian, yeah.
I see the subnet mask there. That was the way you work it out, 25, you minus 24, which you get 1. And the subnet mask is the one to identify in which network you belong. So now, what if I'm given the IP as /23, for example, or 26? Will I proceed to the same formula, or you only stop by 24 and 25?
Okay, so first thing, it cannot be less than 24. It can be bigger, but not less. Because by default, I have 24 bits. 24. It cannot be less. It can be more. It depends on the more you borrowed. So for today, we do an example of if I borrow only 1 bit, /25. Next time, we'll do /26. And we'll do /27, a bit. We go step by step. Yeah, so I'll show you next time something else. But your question is good. We're going to do another example where it should be /26 or /27. It's the same thing, the same formula.
Oh, okay.
So now we go. What is our question? This is IP 192.168.10.12. It belongs to which one of these two? So to find out clearly, we're going to do this. This is the first network, 192.160.10.0, and the second one. So the first one, anytime you have a smaller network, you need to find three things inside. These three things is the first IP you can assign to a PC, the last IP you can assign to a PC, and the broadcast. To find them very easy. So when you have your network, the very first host is your network, see, 0+1. How to find your broadcast? You do the next network -1. To find the last valid host, you do the broadcast -1 and you're sorted. So have a look before and we continue. So we'll do that many times. See. Now, if I'm in this smaller room, in this network, the range of IP addresses should be 10.1 until 10.126. I can assign all these range to any PCs in this. If I have that small network or this office number, I can assign this IP to the PCs. Now, from our question here, we see 192.160.10.12. 10.12, you can see that it's somewhere between this range now, between 10.1 and 10.126. It's somewhere. Because here it can be 10.1.2.3.5 until 126. So 10.12 is somewhere here. That's why we say in our questions that IP belongs to this network or this smaller room. So when you go down, we'll do many times, no worries. So this IP belongs to the very first network. So you can say /25, or if you have 25 one, you convert in binary. And this is, you see this one. If you convert this one in decimal, I take only this guy. So that's why here it's only 1, 2. That's all for today. That's all for today. So I will repeat the same thing on Thursday. I'll do another example for you. Then we do /26 and /27. Exactly the same thing. So this is the answer. This IP belongs to. Okay, so that's all for today. It was about subnetting, and this is the most challenging for all students in CCNA. When you know this one, it's finished. You have all your certificate in your hand. The very first time, it's always strange, but we'll do many times to get it. So this is the guidance. I'll try on Saturday to send you a PDF of this one. I'm going to also check. Okay, so thank you very much. I will, yeah, we'll do the same thing again. I'll post the recording for you tomorrow if you want to watch again and go through it. Any questions?
No, sir, not really a question. Me, I'm lost on this one. Sir. Maybe can you repeat again next time. I'm lost, to be honest.
Yeah.
On the last one, on the
No, no
last part
worries.
here, I'm lost.
Yeah,
So,
no worries. No worries.
yes, sir.
Yes, question?
Yeah, it's not a question. It's just I'm just trying to tell you that this one I'm having a lot of headache. Hey,
No. You see, that's why I did skip chapter 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and show you this one, the most important for us to get more time to do it many times. As I said, it's not difficult. It's the very first time it looks strange, even myself, but we'll do it many times. I'll send you the PDF of this one. Yeah, I'll send you my PDF. I'm going to make it nice and clean for you. And for you to go through it, I'll send it to you. And so I'll do 2 examples and send it to you. Because this one, if you go to data card, it's more confusing. That's why. So you see here, we got 2 smaller network. In the first one, you should find this. In the second one, you should find this. And this one example, slide 25, I'll send it to you, step by steps. And then I'll do another one and send to you. We'll do maybe 5 or 6 of these. So we focus on this one a lot the whole next week. So first day, we do again. Saturday, we do again. And the whole next week, we'll be focusing on that. So we have 2 weeks. Okay, let's see, this today, Thursday, Saturday. Next week, Tuesday again, Thursday, then you'll be fine. So I'll send it to you tomorrow and we'll go through it. So for Mr. Fabien, this is an example of slash 26. Yeah, for your example, slash 26. Always, you go to the guidance, identify the class. This one is C, it falls in class C. You put it here. Step number 2, what is the default subnet mask for class C? Is slash 24. Is slash 24. Why? You put your 24 ones like that. Now in our question, they say slash 26. Normally I have 24. Now they say 26. It means I did add 2 extra. So step number 3, find the bit borrowed. Your slash 26 minus your normal 24 is 2. So I had my 24 here and I added 2 more to make it 26. As soon as I borrow something from the host, it means I divided my big room in smaller rooms. How many smaller rooms I have? Identify how many smaller networks. We have a formula, 2 to the power of bit borrowed. So 2 to the power of 2. If you don't know, you take your calculator, you clear. 2 to the power of 2 is equal to 4. So it means I have now 4 smaller networks. And I need to list them, to write them what are the 4 smaller networks? To find them, because it's a class C, the first 3 blocks never change. You leave it 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, the challenge is to find the last one. The last one always starts with 0, the first network. So this is the very first network. We say I have 4 networks. I need to find them. The very first network always starts with 0. So when the questions, you take the first 3 blocks, you keep it, and the very first one end with 0. It's like that. Now, how to find the second one? To find it, you see, from your bitboard, you put it in your table exactly the way it is. Like that. You put the magic number. You go left to right, 1, 2. The last one falls in 64. It means my magic number is 64. It means any network that I need to find will be 0 plus 64 is 64. 64 plus the magic number 64, this one, plus 64, plus 64, plus 64 to find all my networks. So my very first network is 0. How to find the second one is from the magic number 0 plus 64. I find it, my second network. To find the third one, plus 64 again, and 64 plus 64 is 128. To find the fourth one, 128 plus 64, the magic number, this is the fourth network. Now, when you find your four networks, per network, you need to find the first valid host, the last valid host, and the broadcast. To find them, it's very easy. To find the first valid host, you do the network 0 plus 1, and I'm done here. To find the broadcast, you do the next network minus 1, 63. To find the last host, you do the broadcast minus 1, and I'm done. This is how it works. If I take this network, I need to find my 3. The very first is the network plus 1. To find the broadcast, I do the next network minus 1. And to find the last host I can assign to a PC, I do the broadcast minus 1. And that's all. It's finished. If you know this one, you have your CCNA in hand. So next week, we do exactly the same thing. We're going to repeat a lot. And you have your CCNA in hand. That's all.
Thank you, sir. At least I'm getting it now. I understand a little bit.
A bit, yeah. The same thing. If you have this network, how to find the first host? You do the network plus 1. How to find the broadcast? You do the next network minus 1. You see. How to find the last? You do the broadcast minus 1. So I'll send you tomorrow these 2 examples. You go through them, and we'll be doing that the whole 2 weeks. Hazel, question? Okay, let's stop for now here. And you have the recordings, you have the PDF I'll send to you, and we'll do the same thing again on Thursday. So thank you very much, guys. I can say now you are done with your all 3 CCNA for 6 months. This is the most difficult. After that, it's finished. Anything else is easy. Okay, Trésor, no questions? Okay, then thank you very much for tonight. Have a good evening, and see you again on on
Hello,
Thursday.
Mr. Ma.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes,
Mr. Nsambo, I just want a quick question.
yes,
So, with all this we heard now, are we still going to do? Are you still going to do revision on next Saturday meeting?
yes. So as I said, Thursday we do the same thing. I'm going to repeat the same thing on the Thursday. Saturday we're going to do revisions again. So Saturday I'm going to give you a PDF for what you have to prepare for Saturday. Maybe 2 examples, 2 questions you prepare, and Saturday we do the revisions for that. We'll do how to configure a switch, physical router, and maybe binary, decimal, hexadecimal. So Saturday will be very busy. We go through all this stuff for general revisions.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Oh, that's
And
clear.
next week also, okay, next
Mm.
week again, we continue with the same thing, subnetting. So next week, let's say Tuesday, we continue a bit. The same thing we did today, we do Thursday, Saturday, and next week, Tuesday, 3 times. You'll be okay, no worries.
Okay, sir. Because I think the last one here was a little bit since we're driving and we're listening to the to the class was not
Oh,
even more confused.
yeah. Sorry. I know what I'll send you the recording tomorrow. Yeah, so that you can have a look. No worries.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Okay.
Miles.
Okay. Have a good evening. Okay. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Max.